Everyone, Mary again. Welcome to episode 2 of Keto Coach. Today I'm going to talk about what is the ketogenic diet and who can benefit from it. First of all, I'm going to try not to lose my mind because this is a very touchy subject. What is a ketogenic diet? A ketogenic diet is defined as very low carb, moderate protein, and high fat. That's it. It's not that which gets you into ketosis. If you're on a ketogenic diet, then you are eating very low carb, you are eating moderate protein, and you are eating high fat. That means your fat is your highest percentage macro. So that doesn't mean 40% fat and 40% protein and 20% carbs. It's not moderate carb. It's not high protein. It's very low carb, moderate protein, high fat. Period. That's what it is. There are lots of things that can get you into ketosis, but that doesn't mean what you're doing is following a ketogenic diet. Now, there are people in the keto world who want to argue that, oh yeah, if you got ketones and you're ketogenic. Okay, yes. If you have ketones, you're in ketosis, but if you didn't follow a ketogenic diet to get there, you can't say you're on a ketogenic diet. Starvation will get you into ketosis. You will produce ketones if you are starving. That doesn't mean that starving is an appropriate ketogenic diet. It's not you don't starve and say, hey, I'm on a ketogenic diet. Keto is not starvation. Also, being very restricted very restricted calorie, because all the macros are low. So if you're an extreme low calorie diet, like 500 calories a day, that'll probably get you into ketosis too. But keto is not restricted calorie, especially not restricted calorie, because one of the benefits of being on a ketogenic diet for someone who's obese is that they can eat high calories and still lose weight. And that's how it is in the beginning. Can you eat, I don't know that you can necessarily eat high calories all along, but the whole point is in the beginning, you could still drop weight by eating a lot of calories because your carbs are very low and your fat is high and it's satiating you. And you eventually get to a point where you don't need a lot of food. So anyway, and there's other things that can induce ketosis. So, but a ketogenic diet is very low carb, moderate protein, and high fat. End of story. So who can benefit from a ketogenic diet? Well, first and foremost, the obese, the sugar and carb addicted, because it will get you out of the cycle of addiction. One of the reasons why people struggle with losing weight is because they think that calories are the be all end all. And so they go hunting down, how many calories can I have? I'm this tall, I weigh this much. And, tell me how many calories I can eat. And so they find this calorie range. And then they proceed to do what I did for years, which was work Snickers bars, cheesecake, Oreos, chocolate cake, all that stuff into your calories. Oh, speaking of which, that's the other thing keto is not. It's not if it fits your macros. You can't have a Snickers bar and be ketogenic. I mean, I guess you could if that was the only thing you ate that day, but that's not healthy. That's not regaining your health. That's just, playing the calorie game, playing the keto game, or whatever you want to call it. It's not if it fits your macros. Keto is very low carb, which means you're not going to have sugar. You're not going to have grains or wheat. You're going to eat vegetables pretty much, and you're going to get a few carbs from cheese and maybe some processed meats, which I wouldn't suggest, but I know some people like their hot dogs and their sausage and stuff. I don't. but still, so that's where your very low carbs come from. So who can benefit? The obese. And as the obese are used to eating a lot. I ate a lot of food. I didn't get obese because I didn't eat that much. I hear these large people say that sometimes. Oh, well, I don't really eat that much. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I got 260 pounds because I could eat a whole cheesecake in 12 hours, or a whole package of Oreos in one night, or a pint of Haagen-Dazs, chased with some other stuff. It's because we ate a lot of food, and that's because we were addicted to sugar, and our body would cry out for the sugar. We'd give it, and then we come crashing down because our body, used it up, and it wants more. So it's this constant vicious cycle of eating. So the obese can benefit because when you cut out the carbs and you get past the cravings, is it hard in the beginning? Yes, it's difficult the first week for most people. I was really cranky, and I wanted sugar, but I just kept pressing through. And then once the physical cravings went away, it was seriously like a physical relief. Like it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not like freaking out looking for a package of Oreos. It became easier. So then at that point, it's just all in your head, which I'm not going to get into tonight. But so the obese can benefit, and the type 2 diabetic, which I was both obese and type 2 diabetic, because when you cut out all the carbs and the grains, the wheat, the sugar, all that, then your blood sugar can normalize and stabilize, and then you eat the high fat and you feel satiated and full, and you're not doing the constant eating all day. If you're following keto macros and you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks, and you're still eating all day, it's going to take longer for you to get your blood sugar in check, because every time you eat, you elevate your blood sugar. So if you're eating all day, even if you're eating keto food, you're still, you're keeping your blood sugar elevated. So it's best to just eat the high fat so that you're satiated for longer and you don't feel a need to eat 3 meals and snacks. If you're eating a well-formulated, low-carb, high-fat meals, then you really shouldn't, once you're fat adapted, you really shouldn't need more than 2 meals in a 24-hour period. If you're feeling hungrier than that, you either aren't eating enough fat, or you're not adapted yet. You're still, a sugar burner. Who else can benefit? Women with PCOS. It's a little slower for them, but so many women, check out our group, online, Ketogenic Success at Facebook. There are several women in there who are healing themselves from PCOS with a ketogenic diet, and they're getting pregnant after years of not being able to get pregnant. Their cycles are returning to normal. They're cycling on their own, because one of the things the ketogenic diet does, a well-formulated, low-carb, high-fat diet, will regulate your hormones. Also, there are studies being done, that we've known for years and years that it can help people control seizures. There are studies being done with Alzheimer's, which is now being called type 3 diabetes by many medical professionals. There's studies being done in regards to autism, ADHD, and Parkinson's. So anyway, keto can benefit a lot of different groups of people. It's the healthiest way to eat. Yes, dietary fat, high fat, moderate protein, low carb. That's the healthiest way to eat. That's what a ketogenic diet is. And it can help you regain your health and get to a normal, healthy weight. Do we understand? Okay. Have a great keto week, and I'll see you next week.